In this video series, I will be reviewing vehicles under $10,000, and I thought that I would kick off this series with one of my favorites, the Jeep Commander. Full disclosure, I own this Jeep. However, I believe that I can convey a relatively unbiased opinion and give you an objective review on this vehicle. Let's start with some history. The Jeep Commander had a relatively short run and was only produced for the 2006 through 2010 model years. It was a vehicle ahead of its time, and perhaps if it was released today, it would have survived the market. But then if it was, you wouldn't be able to get such a great vehicle for such a low price. When the Jeep Commander was released, I wanted one, but it was a very pricey luxury SUV, and that is one of the reasons it didn't remain in production for very long. When this beast was released, it had an MSRP of over $40,000, and though that may not seem above par in today's market, over 10 years ago, in the midst of a recession, it was a tough market for an expensive luxury SUV. Couple that fact with gas prices rising above $4 a gallon, it was a tough market for SUVs, let alone a $40,000 one. Chrysler also saw a trend with sales that led them to ultimately end the Commander's run. They noticed that the number of Commander sales almost directly correlated with the decline in Jeep Cherokee sales, meaning that they weren't really gaining new customers with this new model, merely stealing sales from their own product, therefore making it difficult to justify producing two different models for the same customer base. Ultimately, in 2011, the Commander was replaced by the Dodge Durango, which seemed to cater to a different demographic and ended my dreams of owning one. Fast forward 8 years, and I find myself in the market for a family vehicle that can fit me, my wife, and 4 kids. The Jeep Commander once again surfaces on my radar, and to my surprise, they are very affordable. My Commander only cost me $8,500. So what does $8,500 get you? This is a 2007 Jeep Commander Limited with a 235 horsepower, 4.7 liter PowerTech V8 that has 290 foot-pounds of torque with a 545 RFE 5-speed automatic transmission and the Quadra-Drive 2 4-wheel drive system with electronic limited slip differentials and a 6,500 pound towing capacity. This Jeep had less than 150,000 miles on it when I bought it. I know that sounds like a lot to some folks, but believe me when I say these powertrains can survive over 300,000 miles if taken care of, and considering the steep original purchase price of these Jeeps, most of them have been well cared for. The interior is a gray leather interior with heated front seats, dual power seats, and a 2-driver memory button that allows you to save your preferences. The driver memory will set the seat position, pedal position, radio station, and mirrors for you, so if you have more than one driver, you don't have to spend 15 minutes trying to get the seat just right. The driver memory can even be programmed to a specific key fob, so when I unlock the Jeep with my fob, it sets the seats in various settings to me, and likewise for my wife with her key fob. There's a large sunroof in the front that opens fully or can be set to vent, and 2 non-opening sunroofs in the middle row for a cool view of the sky. It has remote start, also has automatic rain sensing windshield wipers, parking sensors, 6-disc CD changer. Not that anyone uses CDs anymore, but if you're so inclined to use CDs, you got the option. It also has AM, FM, XM satellite radio, as well as 6 premium Boston acoustic speakers. And those speakers put out some pretty decent audio quality. Built-in universal garage door openers, heated and auto-dimming mirrors, and a rear windshield wiper. Some models also include options such as a DVD player and backup camera. The features and options list on this 13-year-old SUV is so long that it exceeds the options found in many mid-level trim packages on brand new SUVs that cost 3 times as much. That is one of the reasons I was so attracted to it. The interior feels robust, but not necessarily very luxurious. Let's be honest, this isn't Italian hand-stitched leather, but it isn't necessarily cheap either. The dashboard is large and oversized, and though many people seem to dislike that, I find it appealing. The door panels are thick, and they provide a comfortable place to rest your arm on long road trips. All of the rear seats can fold for entry, exit, or for hauling cargo. I will admit that the third row is not very big and is really only suitable for children. And when that third row is up, there's virtually no trunk space. With that third row down, you still have plenty of good cargo space, but as soon as you put up that third row, if the vehicle is full of passengers, you really can't store much at all in that tiny, tiny trunk. But with the roof rack and also a tow hitch, there's more than sufficient alternative cargo space, and we mostly use a receiver-mounted cargo rack with an all-weather cargo bag for luggage or groceries when the Commander is full with passengers. So the interior and options are nice, but the question is, how does it drive? Well, I say it drives like a dream. It may have the space and look of a large SUV with its tall roof and three-row seating, but the suspension is smooth and the cab is well insulated to keep out the sounds of the road. The Jeep Commander can be found with a 3.7-liter V6, 4.7-liter V8, 5.7-liter V8 Hemi, and very rarely a 3.0 V6 diesel. I have the 4.7 V8, and that is my preferred engine for this vehicle. The 08 and 09 models had a 4.7 that produced 305 horsepower and 334 foot-pounds of torque compared to my 235 and 290 respectively in my 07. The 3.7-liter V6 is a little underpowered for this nearly 5,000-pound vehicle and doesn't really get better fuel economy, not to mention the very dainty towing capacity of 3,500 pounds. The 5.7 Hemi is not a bad option as the fuel economy doesn't really degrade in comparison to the 4.7. and does give you a towing capacity of 7,400 pounds if you're in need of pulling some heavier toys. But it is a large engine to stuff into that engine bay. And it could make routine maintenance a little bit more difficult. Not to mention, the Hemi has 16 spark plugs, causing that routine job to cost twice as much in parts. So if you're like me and you don't mind the slightly lower towing capacity and horsepower, you may opt for the 4.7 V8 for slightly easier and more cost-effective maintenance. Jeep is well known for producing trail-ready vehicles right off the lot, and though this Commander isn't going to win any rock crawling competitions anytime soon, it can pretty comfortably venture off the beaten path for some family camping adventures. This Commander bears the trail-rated badge, and Jeep did not just put that badge on for bragging rights. If you're so inclined to be so forward with this Jeep and take a look at the undercarriage, you will find that this is equipped with skid plates from front to back, and not just those flimsy plastic plates that you may find on some inferior vehicles. These are sturdy metal. But don't worry about routine maintenance access though. Jeep saw fit to provide access points for the oil drain and filter, so you don't have to drop this heavy plate to change your oil. The suspension is beefy for those bumpy trails, but still comfortable enough for long road trips. This particular Jeep is equipped with QuadraDrive 2 4x4 that operates in full-time four-wheel drive, with the option to drop it into low to get you out of trouble, or into it if you are so inclined. The QuadraDrive 2 uses computer wizardry and electronic differentials to send power to the wheels with the most traction, making it very hard to get this Jeep stuck, and making it very capable, especially for a 7-passenger family SUV. All of the limited and overland trim packages come standard with QuadTrack 2, which offers pretty capable traction management, though it isn't done through electronic differentials and uses a brake traction control system. If you can find one with QuadraDrive 2, I would highly recommend it. But Quadtrac 2 is a very close second. I buy vehicles for a myriad of reasons: practicality, utility, comfort, price, reliability. When a vehicle marks high in all of those categories, there's one remaining question. How does it make me feel? The Commander makes me happy. Very happy. It looks classy like a Land Rover, and the interior is comfortable like a Cadillac, but at the end of the day, it is a Jeep under the hood. And though I may not take it out on the trails very often, I can. We wanted something nice for our family of 6, but to go with a stereotypical minivan just didn't feel right for our lifestyle. To be able to drive something to the grocery store for a typical milk run, knowing in the back of your mind that you could then head off of the road deep into the trails for some primitive camping, sparks a special joy in my heart. These Jeeps are not too hard to find with lower miles and well taken care of for a good price. That is why I highly recommend the Jeep Commander, and also why I personally own one.